All right, I'm gonna start up this stream real quick here. Like not many people viewing right now, but I'll just go ahead and maybe people can watch this later. So I think today I'm going to play around with some templates. At least that's the idea right now. Basically just kind of play around with one of these templates and then kind of go with the flow and just kind of see where we're at. And if anyone is on and wants to see something different, we can always change course. But yeah, so I'm thinking as far as I don't have a very specific idea. I'm kind of playing around with stuff. So as far as the venue goes, we could put this in a specific venue. Just looking through some different venues here. Maybe I'll use this one. It's a nice looking ballroom. It's the, let me see if I can find it here. It's the Wild Horse Pass. I believe this is in Arizona. So, yeah. So it looks like with this room, there is a kind of loading area over here, and then just 3 sections to the room. And overall, the room size is 115 by 100, 115 feet by 100 feet. So anyways, we'll just say that people are kind of coming in this way. I believe they come in this way and maybe this way. So we'll, for now, well, we could switch it. Yeah, let's actually, I'm going to rotate it because this is, hold on, this is 100. Yeah, I'm going to rotate it a bit so that it goes the long ways, so that basically when people walk in here or here, the set is over here. And this way the set won't be as long. The room isn't that deep anyways, so everyone will have a better viewing angle, I think. Let me just throw a stage on here just to see where it lands. So when I add a stage in there, it kind of shows up, well, it shows up in the center of the sort of center front of the room. So I'm going to align the room to be in the spot that I want, like the backdrop and everything to be. So I'll move the room to be about here, and then when I start placing stuff through this build feature, it will show up kind of in the backdrop here. But I am going to start with some templates and then kind of go from there. So I'll delete this and see what we can play with here. So these are some pretty basic templates, just kind of corporate event style with some drape and screens. I'm gonna bring the lighting of the room down a bit so that we can kind of focus a little more on the sort of scenery and screens and all that stuff. So play around with a couple of templates here and then see what we want to do. Thinking maybe we do some printed graphics. I haven't really done that on a stream or any videos recently, so it's either we do some printed stuff or maybe some like larger LED wall stuff, or we could do a lot of scenery mixed in. But I think I might go towards more of a branded thing with some printed scenery and printed backdrops and things. Hi Emma. Do we have to pay to be able to use these templates? No, the templates are included in the subscription fee. So, if you do a trial, we have a 7-day trial that you can sign up for. I'm not sure if you have yet or not, but when you use the trial, you can use everything. But then if you want to continue using the application after that, then you'd have to pay for a subscription. And yeah, all the templates are included. And the way we kind of have been working with templates and basically any objects in general are just upon request. So we have a lot of objects and things in the program that can do a lot of different things, but a lot of them are geared more towards corporate events. But we're starting to expand things out to, allow for more like outdoor events and possibly concerts and social gatherings and different things like that, so that we have more variety. And the templates are kind of the same thing as well. The templates are more geared towards corporate style events, but we want to start making a lot more templates. So if you ever have requests for the different types of templates, then just let us know. You can do it over email or chat, and just let us know what you're looking for. The subscription fee right now, there's one option. We're changing this actually pretty often. We're just trying different things with pricing. But right now there's a $400 a month option. We had a few different options a couple months ago, but we removed that. And then in the coming months, we have 2 new features that we're adding, which we're going to change the subscription fee again. And those 2 new features are, one is the ability to build your own venue. So there'll be a bunch of options where you can create outdoor scenes, indoor scenes, and all sorts of different options there, so that it'll be more versatile. And then the other feature that will be added is a 3D model import feature. So people that want to add very specific 3D models to their object or to their projects can do that. It'll be a button up here that just says upload 3D files, and they'll be able to upload 3D files. And those will have 2 different pricing options, one with those features and one without those features. But yeah, in general, we're trying to make a lot of the templates free or just included. I guess they're not free, but they'd be included in the subscription. And yeah, so that's kind of what we have for now. If you have any, the video keeps breaking, like the stream. Let me see. I'll see if I can adjust the settings to make it work a little better. I think I can slow down the stream rate or something. Let's see. All right, I just adjusted the bitrate a little bit, so we'll see if that maybe helps with the video. But yeah, if you have any opinions or feedback on the pricing, what works for you, and specifically to what you're looking for, definitely let me know too. Because again, we're constantly updating this to try to meet different needs. Because even though everything's kind of geared right now towards event production and corporate-ish style of designs, we honestly get a lot of requests for stuff outside of that spectrum. So, all right, so I'll just continue going here. Love the questions, so keep them coming if you got them. Otherwise, I'm just gonna start playing with stuff and then kind of tell you where my head's at as far as when I'm kind of doing the different stuff. So I definitely have lots of tips and ideas on how to use lighting, graphics, and stuff like that. I've designed events for like 15 years or more now. And there's certain things that work well and certain things that don't work well. And so I'll just kind of talk about those things as we're playing with stuff here. All right, so I haven't quite decided what I want to do here yet with the design. I'm thinking I'm going to use, also you can kind of browse through these templates by category. So there's like, up at the top, there's just these minimal ones, and then it goes through, you'll see at the top it says fun, elegant, and so on. I might go ahead and play with one of these sort of more elegant themed ones, because recently I've gotten some requests for doing more stuff that I guess you would say would be more elegant or more less corporate looking. So maybe we'll try to do something like that where we can use one of these templates to kind of adjust to something different. So I kind of explained this template right here. I do like this one. I think this is kind of underutilized a lot, especially in corporate events, and maybe not every customer would like this sort of style, but because it's offset and stuff, but it's always something I think to try, at least to throw in. You can always make everything symmetrical later on, but I really do like sort of off-centered things as well. Just one sec. Someone's asking another question. Okay. So I'll start with this. I'll just resize it to kind of be the shape of the room a bit, and then we'll start to play around with some different things. Obviously in this room you got the old big chandeliers that kind of hang low. They do look pretty cool, but they definitely can get in the way. So I'm going to go to this right camera view here, and I'm just going to grab everything, and then probably just move it up a bit and see how high we can go before we start hitting the chandelier. So you see that we're hitting it there. So I'll move it to about here, and then we'll just move the room forward a bit so that chandelier, I think the chandelier is like right in the middle here. If I go to the right view, you can see it's there now. And so basically right from here, now we have to just make sure that if we do any lighting to hit the stage, we're going to want to avoid the chandelier. So after watching the video from the free trial, can I start designing? Yeah, definitely. So let me go to the website here and I'll show you real quick how to kind of start everything. So So if you've gone to this website already, and well, hold on, let me see. If you start the free trial, you'd basically just fill in a form, and that will take you to the sort of dashboard page. I believe afterwards you can go to this dashboard here, or you should be sent an email as well with some login information, and then how can I start designing? So from here you would go into this Render Now tab. So hopefully you've gotten this far, and at this point you just hit this play button here, all right? And this usually takes 15-20 seconds to load or so. And then once this loads, you're going to create a new account, and I can show you how to do that once this loads. All right, so once you're here, you're going to go to create a new account, and then you're going to type in the email that you want to use. Make sure that you have access to this email because it's going to send you a password reset. So you hit create new account, and then it'll say success, password has been sent. So you're going to go to your email and create a new password from the link that the email sends you. And once you create that password, then you can just enter your email in here and the new password here and just hit login. And from there, you're going to, let me see if let me just create a new account here real quick. Remove this. All right, so I'll show you as an example here. I'll go do this. And once it logs in, it's going to show me a couple options for what I want to start with. So you'll see here a couple pricing options. So you can just start with the trial, or if you wanted to, you could start with the full unlimited plan. The limitations in the trial are just that you have full access to all the features, but you can only create one project. So once you go into it, you'll just see this starter project here. And so this is all you'll see. So you'll go here. If you try to create a new project, it will say that you must upgrade to the unlimited plan to get a new project. So you'll just load the starter project here. And once you've loaded the starter project, you can start designing and playing around with different things. So now would be a perfect time if you are trialing it right now while I'm streaming this to just ask any questions. So yeah, I have your room will be empty, your starter project will be empty, but I've saved this from a previous account. So basically it will look just like an empty room, and then you can start playing around with different things in this build feature here. So hopefully that answers your question. I guess at this point, like I can definitely, if you are designing right now in the program, then just let me know if you have any questions. The easiest way to kind of get started is to use this build button to create the room size that you want. You can customize the room a little bit with this, and you can add a floor plan, and then you can go down this list and add things as well. You can also go to add objects and add individual things as well. So those are two options there, or you can start with these templates, which is what I'm doing right now. And then in this images button over here, you can add an image to a lot of different things, not everything, but let's say if you upload an image it will show up kind of like this. If it's a PNG with transparency, then you can do a bunch of different things with it and kind of customize it. You can move around objects with this little arrow gizmo thing here. And you can do a lot of other things. So we'll definitely get around to some of those. All right, so I'll just keep going with this design here. So what I'm going to do here now is just grab all this drape that's at the bottom here. I'm going to move it down to the floor, and then I'm just going to scale it up a bit. And so I dig this design. I'm also going to select these lights here and move these down as well. And I'll put these as well. I won't put them in a group yet. So from here, I might change the size of these screens. They're definitely pretty small. So actually, I'm just going to move them out of the way for now, and then I'm going to add new screens, I think, or change the size of them. Kind of the easiest way to change or update screen sizes is to go to the build option here and go to screens. And from here, you can just type in exactly the size you want, or you can go to these standard sizes. And then under type, you can select the type of screen you want. And it looks like they're showing up behind. Yeah. So I think I need to move everything back a bit. Let me move this back here. And so if I click this, yeah, then it shows up in front. So I might, yeah, I think I like the ones with the borders, the screens with the borders. You know, obviously you can have like an LED screen with no border, or you could potentially project onto a screen with no border and make this look like that. But sometimes a border actually looks nice because it separates the back from the screen. But anyways, let's go ahead and, so now I'm going to kind of want to widen this out a bit to make it sort of fill the space. So I'm just going to hold Alt and drag my arrow here, and this will copy the drape that I have here. I'm going to do the same thing with the lights here. And I'm just going to drag my mouse over these objects here to select them all. And then I'm going to move them over. Do the same thing with this. To there. I'm just kind of playing with this right now. No real accuracy, I guess, to this yet. We'll move this, I'll copy this over as well. It's basically what we would want to be hanging all of this scenery from the ceiling. So we would, this is kind of nice if you're able to rig this up. So you could either rig it from some truss and some hanging points, or you could rig it from some lifts. So I'll just do a couple lifts. So if I go into this build button here and hit this lift button, ground supported lift, it's going to give me 2 lifts spread out between 50 feet. But I'll do a few of them. Well, actually, I think we could do about here. And then I'll make sure I raise them up a bit. So maybe 16 feet or so. This isn't necessarily essential for your rendering because you're probably not even going to really see these. But if you want them there to just kind of know where they're at and sort of plan, then that's fine. You can see that a lot of times these legs will stick through, which can be annoying. So sometimes you might want to cover those up with something. We'll just leave them there for now. And I'm going to add a couple more things of drape to the backdrop. Actually, what I could do here too, let me see, is just delete all this drape that we have here. And I'm just going to use this build button to create a backdrop of drape. So I think the backdrop was, or the width of the room here was about 90 feet wide. I'm gonna do like 17 feet high. And so it showed up right here. So I'm just gonna wanna move this back. And so this kind of just gives us a nice backdrop here instead of seeing the walls. And we can always adjust that again too. I kind of want to move the whole header here up a bit more. But it's just a matter of avoiding these chandeliers, I guess. See if I can do that. I'll select this and move stuff up a little bit here. I think this would still work. I like this height, maybe right there. All right, I'm gonna move these lifts back down. Scale them up a bit. And then all this drape here, I can move down a bit. All right, so I still want to fill out some of this space. So I think what I would do to just kind of make this work well is have two screens. And then I do kind of want some off-center sort of look to it. So, so yeah, maybe a screen up here, and or maybe the backdrop, the kind of decor would be like off-center sort of, or different sizes. All right, let me see here. Let's go ahead and we could potentially just copy this one with a couple lights and see how this looks if we kind of do this sort of thing. At this point, I'm just playing around. Kind of want these to still be wider than that. And then let me play around with this for a second and see. About the height of it. I don't really want it to look like a pyramid, but maybe what we could do is move this one over here and then copy this one. And move it over here. This might not fit exactly, but we'll see. Yeah, this doesn't fit perfectly, but I can just keep playing with it a bit. My camera went away there for a second. All right. Let me just check on something here. All right. Were you stuck anywhere starting the trial? Or were you able to get that working? That's not what I do. All right, so let me take one of those off. And let's see, what else do I want to do here? Don't really want to do too much decor because that's going to be a little too busy. We could kind of do a mixture of like drape. So one thing that that does end up looking pretty cool is if you really layer things. Meaning if we have this one sort of truss line right here holding up a bunch of decor and drapery and scenery and whatever else, that if we do another one, like let's say right here, in some manner, you can end up creating a lot more depth, and the lighting can look kind of much better because you have separation and distance between the whatever you're lighting and what's behind it. So maybe we could play around with something like that. So what I would do in that case, let me just play around with something here for a minute. I'm going to move these out of the way for the moment just so I can see this a little better. So I have these drape pieces right here, and if they were further back, so if I were to like move them back here, and we'll say that maybe they were lit, separately, and then we would hang something else from here. So what I want to try now is to add some, like a different layer of drape in front here. Another thing too that's kind of nice about this, just using drape and stuff, and again, this doesn't fit everyone's theme, but as I was saying before, it can be, or I've just gotten a lot of sort of requests and stuff lately about more like elegant looking designs and things like that. So I'm just kind of going through that stuff. But let's say, so I'm trying to create a little bit of layering here. So if I go back to the middle here, I have this, I have a couple different types of sort of swag drape that we could play around with. And what I want to try to create is like some depth between these so that everything doesn't just look like one blob of light, if you will, that there would be separation between them. So I'm gonna start with this one, and let's go and do, if I do, yeah, let me do like, make this smaller, 10 feet. Let's just try this. I'm just gonna kind of mess with some things. And I think I might have ruined something here, so let me restart real quick. Yeah, let me fix something real quick here. Short intermission. I'll be right back. Where's my... There we go. There's me. All right, so we're waiting for this to load back up again. Are there any more questions or anything? You can wait a few minutes here. It should just be a minute before this starts up again. I'd be curious to know if you were able to get things working or not, if you're still there. I'm not sure if you're still there or not. All right, so let's get back to where we were at before. All right, somewhere around here, and all right, we're playing around with the drape here and what we wanted to do. So I think I'm just gonna play around with I go to drapes, the size of this, I'll go to like 16 by 10 maybe. And basically I kind of want to see if we hang some drape under here and then light it separately, what it would look like. Let's delete these for now. can also change the color of these so everything's not white, or we can do it with lighting. But I'm just gonna just kind of drape them across the whole thing for a moment and see what kind of look we get with that. Maybe if I select them all and scale them a bit. Or do I just do like, maybe I just do like one less. Something like this. All right. Okay, so this is a little funky right now, but just still trying to play with stuff and see what we got. So so I think maybe let's just try, I'm just gonna try separating these by lighting a little bit and see what we end up with there, because we will still have a couple screens in front. So if I were just do some placeholders real quick, maybe we just have 2 screens. Probably that size. And maybe we change the color completely based off these graphics. I'm just throwing some placeholder graphics in here for now. Trying to find something that might fit. I'll just do these ones for the moment. My question is, how are we gonna hang these guys? So we'll figure that out later. And for now, let's play with the lighting on the back of here. Or we could honestly just, we could probably support these from the ground too. Let me see, screens type. Could throw like a sort of stand on it. And group this. Group this together for the moment. And this is kind of nice too, actually, because then you can kind of put your screen wherever you want. So you could angle it maybe. You're not really limited to having it over here. So we'll just do this for now. Again, another placeholder style thing. And I kind of want to play with this lighting here just to see if we can get some separation of the lights. So if I go into the right camera view here, so how I would do this is, if we want these to be hanging from the back of the truss here, what I'd probably do is, this is, I guess, probably where I'd do a separate line of truss. So we would have this a little forward, And then you could either hang this or support it by the ground somehow and then shoot lights kind of off the back. So what I'll do, whoops, I think I moved the wrong thing. There we go. What I'll do is go into this build button here and then lighting. And I'm going to add some sort of downlighting across the back here. So what I'm going to do for that is click this button here, these uplights, sort of color blasts. And you'll see they show up kind of up here in the up top. They're gonna just display off of whatever my numbers are here. So let's say we want to spread them out the width of this. So let's say we'll go like 80 feet. Looks about right. And yeah, let me move them in a little bit because I think we want them to shoot down like every into this area. We could always play around with them and mess with them, but so maybe like 75. Maybe that will work. I think I'll just have to adjust where they are a little bit, but all right. And then from here, I'm actually just going to rotate them 180 so that they point down. And actually, I need to kind of point this way. And then I would have them sitting kind of on the back of this truss, pointing towards these. And this is where I'll start to show you kind of the separation I was talking about. So these would need to be back. And then kind of pointing this way a bit maybe. Let's move them over a little bit here. They're kind of at the center of each. All right, so that's kind of highlighting each one of them, which is cool. I can also play around with the color a little bit real quick just to move these up. All right, one sec, we got another question here. Let's see. All right. Let's see. So this would be kind of hanging off the back of this truss if possible. That's just kind of the idea. I mean, I kind of like to sort of design first, and then once you get the look that you want, then you can kind of start to figure out a little bit more about how it's going to be structured and all that. But anyways, so I kind of dig this, so you can start to see the depth between each layer here, which is what I was talking about before. And, you know, this part, I guess at this point, maybe you could just move this up, because it doesn't really, it's kind of random now. And then we just get some depth between this. All right, so now at this point, I think let's just play around real quick with the color to see if we can get all right. So let's select these guys, and I'm going to adjust the color a bit for them. See what we can do here. Wait a minute. Okay. So let's do something that fits with this white for now. You could also adjust the color of the actual drape. But leaving everything white gives you a little bit more room to play with the lighting. Do something kind of goldish or amberish right now. And then if I group all of these lights at the bottom down, I'm actually going to delete all these for the moment. And what we'll do is place the lights we currently have, and I'm going to do some new lights at the bottom here. And I will go ahead and I think set this to like 80 feet wide and just add more lights. So maybe we'll do like, see what this looks like. All right, so I'll probably keep something like this, but I need to separate this a little bit. So you can see from this view over here, what I want to do is separate each section by a decent amount so that you have this kind of layering depth effect, and so that these lights don't actually really hit what's in front of them over here. Let me go back to here. And back you in just a little bit more. And just the intensity a bit here. Move some of these lights around a little bit. They're kind of sitting in front of them. Okay, let's play with that for now. I can adjust the intensity and width. I think what's messing me up now is that these are the same color. So let's adjust the color back to like something like this for the moment. And all right, so we're definitely getting a little bit more depth there, which is kind of nice. All right, just trying to think. I'm working pretty slowly right now. Just slowly playing with things. No real rush. Yeah, so this is kind of cool. I think I need to move the top portion forward a bit, if I can do that somehow. So basically these panels right here. Only problem with doing something like this is that then if you're trying to downlight them, the light becomes a little harsh on the front there, as you can see there. All right, so at this point we have quite a lot of lighting going on here. I do like the separation between how things are going right now. Maybe we add a new logo on there. And we have this kind of off-centered look. So if you notice, like, you know, I kind of like this again. The backdrop drape isn't exactly centered, but then this is not exactly centered as well with this, which kind of just gives it the whole thing a bit of a slightly off-centered look, which can kind of just help overall so that you're not trying to keep everything so symmetrical all the time. So, all right, so I'll come back to here. I'm going to try to change the color of these real quick and just see if that gives some more separation. Because I think in general, just the separation between the front and back could be better if this has a more abrupt color. I mean, what you could do is have this be like a darker gray or something like that. And then you light it that way. So something like this. I think black is probably too much, so maybe like a darker grayish right there maybe. And then you can select the lights and play around with the color on them. And for some reason, oh, it's because my group's not locked. All right. Now you can pump up this brightness a bit. Maybe adjust the angle of the lights too a bit. I don't know, we'll come back to this. Might want to change these color of these again. But yeah, basically just kind of about playing around a bunch. I could also do a couple things here, like, let me move this back a bit. Like changing the lights on the top here too. So let me group these together. And we'll see if we can even adjust these. I don't really want to do like a tritone thing, but it could look good. So you do like a 3-tone look, you know, if there's a specific brand color. Just keep it kind of neutral right now and leave it like this. And if I go here, maybe I want to add a different image in or something. Screens, content. Let's do this because there's just more on the screen now. All right. All right, I guess from here I can start playing with a couple other things like the stage. So if I throw in just a random stage here, we got this. I guess because they're going to be maybe an oval one, like a half circle. Half circle could look good. Let's see. 40 by 20. Probably needs to be deeper than that, so 30. And then maybe something like this. And darken the room up a tad. I'm going to group these so I can easily move them around. All right, I do like the difference in shape that we got going on here, which is kind of nice. You could also get even more kind of customized too if you select random tiles that are up here. These are all different tiles. You can go into the decor section here and actually switch out the tile to try something different. That might be too busy for this. You know, these just look like big bumps. I think keeping it simple in this case is probably better, so I'm gonna switch it back. But yeah, and then you could also do like a logo lower too, but I think the logo does look good on here because it kind of fills that space. Probably want a different logo though, is my guess. So see if we can find a different logo online maybe here. Let's just see what I can find in Google Images. I'm looking for like a PNG with It's always hard to find a random logo. I guess I could use our own logo. So let me grab our logo. I don't think I have one in here, do I? No. Let's see. Where's my logo here? Just waiting for this really slow logo to upload. Let me do this one. Okay. All right, while I'm waiting here, I'm gonna make some like super round stairs for this. I'm just going to make a duplicate of this and then kind of adjust the size of it here. Do another one. Something like that. Let's do that for now. All right, I'm gonna add a image in here. So so that I can replace this logo. And you know, we'll say this is probably going to be like printed, or it could also be like a hanging sign as well. And this doesn't really fit the theme because our logo is not necessarily elegant, but I'll just use it for now. And I guess, I don't know, if we want it that big, we might need another section of this. So to do that, I'm going to come over here and grab this. Just add another one. I don't think I like that though, because it just covers quite a lot of the space there. It's not terrible, but I think it was a little better before. And potentially you just move this up a little bit. Oops. And the chandeliers get in the way. Let's just make the logo a little bit smaller. And then up a tad, this down a little. Essentially, when everyone's sitting in the chairs, it won't cover that, but all right. And then I'm just going to change the color of this lighting real quick. Why it says my stream is not receiving enough bandwidth or something. Just the settings here a bit. Hopefully that worked. All right, I'm going to go ahead and change a couple things and then finish this up. So this is working okay. I think the colors don't really work anymore though, because I got the logo in there. You could always try to match that logo color. Something like this. You see, now I could probably add in the logo here too. Let's see. Do Try this one. All right, let's add this new graphic to the screen here. I think it might take a second because basically it's uploading it to the cloud, and since I'm streaming right now, it's not moving super quickly. Okay, let me try this again. Oops. There we go. Do the same over here. All right, not a huge fan of the graphic, but it's okay for now. And brighten up these lights in the back a little bit. And then play around real quick with just adding a light to these guys. I don't know if I would actually want to do that or not, but maybe. Okay. All right, so I'm gonna put some people on stage real quick, and I think this look is pretty cool now. It's like we started with this elegant look, but now we've kind of, because of the graphics I'm using with my logo or with our logo, it's kind of like now like this tech branding, but in an elegant backdrop, which is kind of cool too. But hopefully what I was trying to do came across a good amount, which is to create separation between the sort of front and back. So to do that, we had I would need to add more truss over here, but the idea was to create a couple different layers here where you have a line of truss that's holding up your kind of front layer, and then you would have a sort of middle layer, which are these panels right here, or these drape swag panels right here, and so there's some depth between them so that you can light them and they give off more contrast, and then finally in the very back you have a couple different panels of drape which you could light separately so they all kind of tie in and they're all sort of part of the whole look. So yeah, I'll add a couple people on the stage here, and maybe we'll play around with a couple other things. Or maybe I want to do, yeah, because this is kind of a casual look, not casual, but comfortable look, if you will. We'll put some couches on here. I might replace this, but we'll see how this goes. Do like this. And we'll throw on a couple chairs maybe. I want to do a darker chair. Like a dark blue. Maybe these ones. colors don't quite work super well, but I don't really want to do white. Could also do, well, that blue doesn't really work. Yellow kind of works. It's definitely a complements the blue. So if you were to do like two people, it's almost kind of like a little lounge setting up on stage here. And then maybe we add a table or two in. And just for the heck of it, we'll see what it looks like with a lamp in here. I don't like the lamps. All right, so now we'll just add some stage light probably. And to do some lighting, I could do, let's just do some really quick lighting in the front here. So we'll do, might have to move it around a bit because of the chandeliers. So I didn't place those lights at the bottom and they moved. Let me see here. So I'm going to need to I think they're just, okay, yeah. So they're just at the back there. All right, back to what I was doing. Place the lights and then add in some new lights. I might have to move these a bit, but I'll do like 30 feet apart or so. And just adjust the angle of these a bit. The cone. One thing that's typically nice too is to get your, if you can get your stage to come further away from the backdrop so you don't shoot a ton of light on the backdrop. Obviously it's usually easier said than done because you have a lot of constraints typically within a lot of these scenarios. Yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and just aim these lights manually real quick by by clicking on each of them. So I'm going to unlock the group, and then I'm going to click aim, kind of aim it towards the middle here. And then I can adjust them all as one afterwards. All right, and I might just make the color of this light a tad bit cooler. And what else do I want to do? I think this one light is kind of off a bit. All right, something like that. I could add some people on here real quick. Or I could just leave it empty for the moment. And then maybe some tables and chairs too. I don't know if I want to add like any floral or anything on the stage. Kind of just covers up some of this. Yeah, I don't know, it's a bit random, but one weird thing that this does is it throws a lot of weird shadows on the area up here. All right, let's throw in some seating real quick. Some classroom seating. camera keeps shutting off. All right. I think lastly, I'll just add maybe some color to these guys. And you could put on some stuff on the tables there, and remove the center. Move this up a little bit. What I'm probably going to do too, actually, is angle these. So I will group this one, group this one. And then let's angle them like 15 degrees maybe. Yep. Then I want to move them in a little bit. All right. Let's see if we can group all these now. And I think just adjust the color a little more. It's almost a little overwhelming, the blue. All right, let's go ahead, group these all, and then all right, so from here, I'm going to make a couple quick camera views, and then we'll maybe do a quick fly through, and then we'll be good. All right, so I'm going to go in this first person camera here and just move my camera out to a good spot, dig in this spot, and then I'll just hit this plus sign here. And then I'll move again to another spot. Maybe we come up higher so we can kind of see the room a bit. Something like this-ish. I do like to try to get the camera to be kind of straight on so that it's aligned with the vertical lines in the room. It tends to look better rather than skewing the room like this. But sometimes you can't really avoid it. And then I'll get like a closer up one. Which I tend to like to do this, where you kind of blur out a little bit of the foreground. And then that way you have a little bit more of like a cinematic look. All right. Let's kind of probably stop there, but I do kind of want to see what this will look like with the animation. So I'm just going to hit animate and see what we got. Sometimes you have to adjust your camera views a few times to, create a better looking animation, because it sequences through the camera views depending on basically which view you created first. So it'll be like first camera, second camera, third camera, fourth camera, and it'll go through each of those. All right, so that's pretty much it. It's gonna end on this camera view, I think, and yeah, we'll get back to it next week. And thanks for any of the questions that you sent over. And if you are still watching or watching a replay, you can go ahead and try any of this stuff out for free with a free trial. If you go to EventRender.com, there's a free trial form on there. So hopefully you're able to check it out, and we'll talk to you soon. Let us know if you have any questions on the chat button on the